Hello, everybody. Thank you for joining us for Paradise League. Thank you for coming back. We just had Venice versus B Pro with Venice taking on top. We now have Post Haste versus Agency, and I made a little bit of a tag out. We have a new caster here, first time casting, if I remember correctly. We got Captain Kirk, who I will be referring to as Kirk. How you doing today, Kirk? How's everything going?
I'm doing good, man. Thank you. Yeah, it's the first time I'm casting here through Paradise League at least, and it's been a good while since I did the last time, so it's gonna be fun.
Heck yeah, man. I'm glad to have you. So we're looking at Post Haste Gaming, right? And Post Haste Gaming is the whole team. I see that it's a newer team that I haven't seen yet. But granted, I haven't been around for a while. Player wise, we have Lucius, Boyo Boy, Rosario Volca. And on agency, we have Pesdun, Viras, Whoop, Doze, Synchro Gamer 7. So we have some good players here, some high rated players who are pretty comfortable when it comes to this game. So I'm pretty excited to see what happens. On the ban side, we're getting a Flux, an Engineer ban, and a Scrap ban instantly. How do you feel about these bans?
For me, this looks very normal. At least Flux and Engineer is very usual. Scrap, I would more see as a TMM hero mostly, but I can see it makes sense at least.
Yeah, I know that.
I'm very new to this new patch, and I'm a little bit excited to see if any of these new changes because this would be the first tournament played since the patch came up, and if these changes will really have any influence on the game.
Nice. I've came back after a few months. I haven't seen the new patch, haven't read anything in the new patch. I kind of just jumped right in. I have people kind of telling me what's going on and how it's going on. So I'm just trying to slowly learn on the job, right? Learn on the fly. I know the big one was the Hammerstorm nurse that Hank were talking about, and I could definitely see the difference when it comes to farm speed and damage, and you could see it in the team fights. That was very, very prevalent there. So, like I said before, there's some nerfs that are just too much, and there's some nerfs that you could subsidiary with items. Told kind of just went the basic build, the Elder Parasite into BKB into PK. But what we saw there was just, told for getting ahead but not being able to hit his times because of the way that the map was opened up. So, you kind of get choked off, and it's just one of those things. So looks like we're going to finish our picking phase, and then we are going to do a remake, because I think one of their players came back, so I don't need a sub. So they're going to do the same picks. They're just going to swap them out in the end. So we're looking at a Bushwhack. That is our first hero picked. I'm going to assume that's probably a Lucius hero. I know that Lucius has been spamming Bushwhack, so I'm pretty excited to see that. I don't really necessarily know how it translates to, what we call pro play or tournament play. So I'm excited to see what happens.
Bushwhack is for sure one of the strongest heroes currently. He got a small nerf here recently in this newest patch, but coming into this patch, he seems to be one of the better ones. For me personally, as a carry player, I certainly have enjoyed playing Bushwhack a lot, and I see him as a very, very strong contender.
Are you still doing the Thunderclaw build, or is it just Knuckles?
You don't need to know, because on Bushwhack you're fine farming just from your passive. So whenever you use one of your abilities, either the Q or the W, you can use it to reset the E, which will splash your ult onto multiple targets. So the way you clear things effectively, stacks and quick waves, is simply just stacking up your ult in a cleave on multiple targets, and that's enough for you to farm very, very efficiently.
I like that. It's a good way to set up your farm. So now what we're looking at here is you have a Kraken pickup and a Deadwood pickup. So before the conversation we had in our last game with Kraken is that Kraken's ult is an immobilized, so it's a leash. So you can't use movement abilities to get out. So you'd have to slam BKB to get out. So they might be looking to try and get a good setup with Kraken onto Bushwhack. They might be looking to get a nice Deadwood punch into a tackle or a Kraken, or just grasping roots in general.
Deadwood is a super dangerous hero for Bushwhack for sure. Because Bushwhack's ability to kite and jump on every second auto attack is really, really strong once he can sort of get rolling. But a Deadwood stops him fully in his tracks, and ult into Q, there's no way out. There's no counterplay directly from him, so he needs team support or you dodge it altogether.
Yeah, he definitely needs someone to be able to help him. So I think that's something that's super important to take into consideration. And by looking at that, we have a Demented Shaman pick right away to supplement that. So the thing about Demented Shaman is kind of one of those things where it's the hero. does a lot for what it's worth, right? So, you have your healing wave, which is super big, but being able to nuke creeps and being able to, sustainably push out waves, pretty good, right? You have Unbreakable, which stops you from fatal damage. So if the Metacham's in a good spot and he gets PK punched, Unbreakable, hope for the best, right? Stormcloud within itself, also huge. So, taking away a lot of armor for team fights and stuff for Bushwhack to be able to succeed is super good. So I like it a lot. Pharaoh, I like Pharaoh pick. I know that people were going the Grimoire build for a while because Flare was too strong. I know that people were basically just going, full magic carry Pharaoh. Where I was told, his Tormented Soul is super strong. So I don't know if that was changed or nerfed, whatever the case may be. So we'll see what happens.
The recent change to the Pharaoh E is that you now have a slow on it. I'm not sure how recent you're up to track, but the slow on that
20% slow is nuts. It is so nuts.
A very big change for the hero. It seems subtle at first, but in reality it just means so much that you can slow across lanes and you can effectively use it to catch people, like walk them down.
Yeah, so we have on our backside pick, we got the Pharaoh pick, we got a Pebbles ban, a Zephyr ban, a Lord Salforce, and Nymphora ban. I know that Dutch and Henke were talking about Nymphora a lot, saying that the stun's faster and it's easier to lane with. The thing about Nymphora is one of those heroes in lane that just has so much sustainability and puts so much forward for your lane that I think it's worth a ban all the time. Yeah. Just because, being able to just throw mana on somebody for free, throw down a volatile pod and just sit there and wait, and just get a chunk heal for no reason. And the ability to just teleport across the map to create plays is also super huge too. So I think that's one of those things where, like, I respected him for a ban. I think it's a good ban. The Lord Salforce, I would say Lord Salforce is probably a good ban just in theory for Unbreakable and Bushwhack in general. Lord Salforce ult ticking even after Unbreakable is super good, so I respect that. I don't know about the Jerizaiah ban. I don't know why they banned Jerizaiah. I'm not even gonna act like I know. I got nothing for that.
Well, I mean, for Jerizaiah specifically, since Monarch is banned and other purge heroes, like Jerizaiah ult with its high physical armor will completely reduce Bushwhack to nothing for the whole duration. So from their point of view, Jerizaiah might be a counterplay.
There.
But I wouldn't say it's usual either, no. And you saw the Nymphora impact from one of the previous games with the Pred. They got extreme value from porting around from the level 6 to 10 range and setting up kills.
Yeah. Being able to take fall across the map to play with his lead and to play with the gold he has is super, super huge. And I agree with that. It was super good. So we got a Chipper and a Glacius pickup. I'm going to go on a whim, and this is just me, but I'm going to go on a whim and say that Glacius probably was picked up for the idea to be able to chain CC, chain hard CC off tackle or, grasp or anything like that. Just having a point and click, I turn you into a block ice, good luck running away, with imprisonment is super huge.
It's
but the problem is
first real stun they have on their team right now.
Yeah. And a curse now as a pickup is actually super kind of scary. The reason why is the fact that Fire Shield purges any debuff or stun is super big, right? So you're running into a situation where if he gets punched, if he gets Kraken into grasp, if he gets ice imprisonment, the curse just slaps a heal, slaps a W, and says, all right, go on your way. The only thing being is truly can't dash out of Kraken ult, right? So Whirlpool. So it's kind of one of those things where I see what they're going with, I see what they're doing, and it's a good pickup. So we will see. Now the Soul Reaper pickup. Do we see much Soul Reaper?
No, not for tournaments, I would say, that I've seen at least. But they're running 3 healers on the Legion side. They banned Salforus from Hellborn. Okay. It might have even been a good pick for them, honestly, having both a Cursed and Demanded and Soul Reaper on the same team. It's a very heavy support around Bushwhack. I would suspect that they will build everything around them.
Yeah, I'm going to assume that they're probably going to go auras and healing. I'm assuming an Astrolabe's going to come out, right? Obviously. And they're probably just going to put all their eggs in the basket for the Bushwhack, which honestly isn't really that big of a deal, right? Like, I think putting a lot into the Bushwhack, who has a very much chance to carry the game just by getting accelerated by Golden Farm, is super huge, right? So I think you run into a situation where just playing the support aspect of it, of, hammering Bushwhack through is good. Again, we're getting a remake. This is normal. This was planned, so we're all good. But I like the drafts. I don't necessarily think that anybody has like a clear-cut advantage, right? Because, you know, even if you have a bad draft and you think the draft loses, they could still win. However, I will say just with the auras that are going to be built and how much they're going to put in the gas tank of Bushwhack to be able to play the game, I feel like maybe PHG has more of a chance, but, you know, you never know. Anything's possible.
How do you think the lanes are going to be playing out from what we saw here?
I think it's very much dependent on how the supports are going to play. I think the supports are going to have a huge role. Going to have a huge role on how the lanes go. And the reason why I say that is because Deadwood being able to, you know, grasp from fog and being able to set stuff up from fog and being able to, you know, have the ability to play at angles that they can't really see will be different, right? You have Kraken once he gets PK, when it happens he gets PK, that opens up the map. So now what's going to happen is we're running into a situation where the early game lanes are very much dependent on how the supports play, right? And it's very much dependent on who hits 6 first. So if Pharaoh hits 6, he's going to roam and pick up kills, right? So as long as the supports can equalize the lane and keep it in a good position that's advantageous for people to roam around and make ganks, you're good. If you give Bushwhack a lot of space where he just has a free game and he's just minding his own business, then it's going to be hard, right? So I'm already in. You can join Kirk, by the way. The lobby's up. So
yes, coming.
You're good. So I think, like I said, I think those are the things that we need to look at, right? However, that doesn't necessarily mean that you won't get crazy plays, right? And you won't get crazy just stuff happening. So I think that's it. How's your opinion on it? How do you think it's going to go? Because I looked at it from like a laning and roaming and early, like first 10-minute perspective. So how would you feel about it? What do you think feels right?
What I'm mostly concerned with is, will the Hellborn side go for an offensive tri-lane and try and shut down Bushwhack completely? Or will they build more around Ravenor and trying to snowball from the top and the mid lane and leave Bushwhack to his own demises in the bot lane? I'm not entirely sure how they're going to be playing the lanes exactly, like hero matchup versus hero matchup here.
Yeah, and I don't really know how I feel about the Ravenor pick. To be honest,
Ravenor is an extremely strong hero, and it's an okay counter to Bushwhack as well, because the usual way you end up playing Ravenor is with a PK, and if you get the Q onto Bushwhack, he can jump and dance as much as he likes. He's gonna take 6 or 7 hits from Ravenor with everything going. And
yeah, that's also true.
Extremely bursty. You're not gonna end up in the same situation that you had in the previous game with the Hammerstorm and a Pred just hitting each other 15 times in a row and seeing who comes out on top. Here it's going to be a very bursty Ravenor against the bush, and if he doesn't burst him, he's not going to kill him immediately. But that will be what they will be playing for sure.
Yeah, and I think that, you know, again, I think that translates to the support play and the offlane play, right? Because you're looking at Glacius Ice Imprisonment, you're automatically going to get a Ravenor Volleyball, right? You're going to get a big stun with Stormblades and Static Shock just naturally doing so much damage. It's going to be hard for the Bushwhack to survive if he doesn't position correctly. However, when it comes back to the ideas of supports, right? You have the Dimension Shaman standing behind him in fog where he can't get caught out, or you have a Curse in the range that can play the shield where he can kind of save the Bushwhack if he makes a mistake. It's a very weird chess game, right? Because you have to be super, super aware of what's going on. Now, the other thing too that we need to take into consideration is the Pharaoh pick, right? The Pharaoh kind of makes it so you have to be aware of what's going on with really good wards. You know, the flare, the mummy slowing for 20%, that's terrifying, right? However, you need to take into consideration the big thing about Pharaoh is his ult, right? That's what we're looking at. Wrath of the Pharaoh. Him being able to skip the front line and get to the back line and punish the supports for hiding. So it's kind of one of those things where it opens up the map to play at angles that are not anticipated, which means they're going to have to change the way they ward. The way the last game, B-Pro, and the way that Vinny played around each other, their wards in different spots that they were not used to, giving Vision to be access to the map was like super important, right? So I'm excited to see how this goes.
Yeah, the lanes on the DD side right now are swapping around a lot. They're sending Bushwhack top. I think they're going to expect a man up or a tri lane from the bot lane, and maybe send Bush top to avoid it, but go against that again and send Bushwhack the other way maybe.
Yeah, so that ward, So I don't know if that ward scouts out Whoop. So that word didn't scout out Whoop. So they don't know that Whoop's in. Okay. Now it will scout out Whoop when he walks down. Okay. So they see Whoop for sure, right? So they don't know necessarily where the lanes are going to be. We'll see. So it's going to be Bush mid.
It didn't actually see him. If you look at the path of the board through the trees, there is fog there. The highlight is from the tower from the left side. So they don't necessarily know yet.
But he walked to the walked to the left side of the tree without fog. When he walked out of fog when he went to the left side of the tree.
Yeah, but I think they knew and decided to play it this way anyway and send Bushwhack mid.
Okay, so we have Bush mid with Bubby, and then going against Doze. Doze playing Kraken, just gonna try and get experience where he can. Playing into range is always a pain in the butt, so Doze's just gonna try and pull the wave to the tower, farm where he can, take the harass where he gets it. And Whoop is going to be going against the Accursed and the Reaper. The Deadwood matchup's not bad. We're looking at the top. We got the Pharaoh, who's solo right now. He's going to be going against Pizdoon, playing his Ravenor and Chipper. So the lanes are looking good. Glacius looks like he's just going to start pre-stacking camps. I don't know if he's going to be pre-stacking camps with the idea to rip off a Tundra Blast at an imprisonment and let Kraken smack it with a splash, just so he can get a little bit of extra GPM in such a hard laning phase. So let's see. Whoop walking up to Soul Reaper right now, just trying to get experience, pull the wave. There's no stun down there, so I don't think he's really scared to just walk up to the wave. He'll just take damage here or there. Nothing too crazy.
Pretty heavy harassment. They're both spamming spells on him whenever they can reach him. I like the lanes from the Legion side here. I think they're going to be coming out in a pretty safe spot for now.
I agree. I think they definitely adapted the lanes to what they needed, trying to give Kraken getting solo experience while also getting stack camps is going to be super good, but the Bushwhack being able to secure experience and gold without really much of a challenge is super nice. Look at top rower getting hit by a volleyball right now. Pharaoh coming through is just trying to Q outrun, but it seems like with the damage coming forward, another auto attack and a nice missile coming through, picking up the kill. Those really good awareness there. Pizdoon just cutting off a really good angle, chucking the volleyball and hoping for the best. And the mini stuns from Hellfire just weren't enough to save him. Still got ran down and killed, unfortunately, but that's a good first blood going to the side of our Chipper. So Chipper getting a little bit of extra gold. Let's see. Whoop, trying to cut through the trees, trying to pick up experience. Boy, oh boy, chicken boy, just trying to get some damage on it. Nice grasp from Whoop to get away. So Whoop is in safety.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how they play this out now with... looks like Pharaoh is going to be having a hard time top against Chipper. He's basically beating him up on his own again. Might kill him a second time here.
Nah, he missed that rocket, so he ended up missing the rocket and getting killed. And as much as Roar almost dies, Roar does get to pull a wave to the tower, so he gets a little bit of experience, hits level 3. And that ward that's on the side corner there kind of gives away what Roro, where his movements are going to be, where he's want to do. So they have awareness of how he's going to try and move and how he wants to pull the wave. So that's pretty good for them. They're in a really good spot. Chipper just blocking out the pull camps, making sure they can't flare the camp into the wave, which is also another thing too. Even with the slow, it changed the timing by like a second or so.
Dementic getting jumped. Also finishing off.
Big good.
Yeah, Chipper rotating as well. They would have had enough damage to maybe even kill both if Bushwhack had decided to go for the kill, but he didn't.
Good rotation coming through for the Chipper. And again, like I said, it's all about the supports. Okay, Pizdoon running down, rotating a double rocket barrage going through. Oh no! He dodged. Okay, Poppy gonna help Bush try to get through. A flare to slow it down, and they can't pick up the kill. That man, that was terrifying. The Gauntlet, the Toxic Claws, almost actually ticked the kill. It was very, very close, but he had a health bot to save him. And Whoop kind of getting zoned off experience behind the tower right now. Poyo Boy just trying to push his advantage in his lead. And Whoop's just trying to stay in experience range, trying to get through.
Yeah, they're going for the stacks now in the jungle. Glacius has been hard at work for the whole game so far, just stacking up, and Kraken's going to reap the rewards now. Might give him the advantage at mid lane here, get 6 early.
Yep. Like we said, supports just playing correctly. Oh, Chip. Oh. I think my internet spiked. Chipper getting the roam to secure the kills, also securing Pizdoon's lane. Glacius getting the stacks and getting the experience for Doze, so Doze can catch up. It's just super good. The supports are playing correctly what they need to do. It just opened the lanes up they're needed to be able to play the map. So now what's going to happen is even though Bushwhack is getting good farm in mid, you're running into the situation now where Uh-oh. Look, Whoop might be getting dove under tower here. Rooting Grass trying to get through. Poyo Boy aware where it's coming from. A nice little dodge, just running uphill with his award. Whoop trying to cut up and down, trying to get through. Poyo Boy gonna pop a nice little heal wave off. A judgment to pick up the kill on Whoop. Glacius has a visibility rune. Nice imprisonment coming out. Roar getting hit by a volleyball. 1-2 smackaroo. And he pulls him through, and that's a good pick up kill for Make Love 83. Pick up kill on Glacius. Glacius with a good events rune. Punishing. Alright, Doze's level 6 now, so our Bushwhack needs to be a little careful, because if Kraken gets a good angle or a support rotates and get a good rotate, I think he will die. I don't think he can survive a tackle and a wave and a splash. I think he'll end up being dead. So he just needs to be a little bit careful. Now with Bubby behind him, he's a little bit safer. But we're taking a peek down. Let's see, Ravenor's sitting about 400 GPM. Bushwhack 350, Kraken 315, and Soul Reaper 375. So their cores are getting good gold. Let's see if there's some Heavement. Okay, Make Love coming through. The nice little Thunder Blast is slow, but Doze doesn't throw down Kraken. He just saves it. Even with Kraken and Imprisonment, I don't know if they get that kill, and I don't know if it's worth it to try and go under the tower to get it. So just getting some harass and going out. Not bad. Not bad. Poor Whoop is sitting at 88 GPM. He is getting zoned out so hard. Oh, here comes Thon trying to go through. Thon getting smoked out by Thunder Blast. Doze just for the rune. Tackling out. Poyo Boy with a judgment trying to chase, but they don't really get anything. They just fought to try and get that rune, and to no avail.
80 on Kraken here. Could be dangerous if he catches anyone, but he's going to have a hard time catching Bush now with the Ghost Launchers. It's going to be very slippery.
Even with just a tackle forward and a Kraken, so Glacius can try and walk up to get any spells. I don't think they kill it, especially with Bubbly just sitting there. Bubby's kind of gonna create an effect they can't. Oh, Roars might get over the tower. All right, let's see. Me coming through behind the tower, hitting 3 rocket barrages. A volleyball coming through. Pezdoon dying again. A nice little setup on Chipper there with the experience advantage. Just rocket barraging through, trapping him down, and securing the kill. So good pick up by men, and Pizdoon.
But even if Pharaoh is dying a few times here, he will eventually get 6. He's 5 right now, and he's on his way, so he is getting experience.
And that's the thing about Pharaoh, right? Pharaoh really doesn't need items to be useful. He just needs 6. He just needs experience, and he can, start playing the map. So again, we said if the 10-minute timing is really where the where agency is going to succeed, right? Their picks are made to play early, and that's what they did. They played early, right? They created a funnel, created pressure. They played early. However, Poyo Boy, Chicken Boy getting some good experience at farm. Bushwhack getting, experience at farm and mid and be able to secure. Bubby's still level 4, which isn't bad. And they're only 600 gold down, 700 gold, which isn't bad, right? They're pretty even, all things considered, even with the stacking and everything. And Bushwhack is just securing a nice, easy, simple game in the mid lane. So at least he's translating. So it's looking good. And Glacius is actually looking up on the top stairs, just patiently waiting. He's going to try and walk down and make an ice imprisonment play. Coming from Fox, they have a ward there. He's going to run through. All right, Lucius is about to get catched out. There it is. A release Kraken coming through. Roar coming through. He's going to sit there unbreakable. He's going to heal. But guess what? Tackle pushing him above the wall. But Lucius is just standing. He's not trying to fight. Saw Showdown coming from MMN. Getting the kill. Make Love with a good ice imprisonment Thunder Blast to get the kill there. The Kraken actually pulling the Bushwhack on the wall for a good charge angle to pin both of them. So even with Unbreakable and the heal bomb, it just wasn't enough. That's like you're saying right there. If they get on top of the Bushwhack, the Bushwhack's going to die. So
yeah, they're going to be playing it like that for the whole game, trying to catch out Bush and burst him in the blink of an eye.
So Chipper actually walked behind the tower through fog without them seeing him, and he put a ward on their stairs to catch their stacks. They actually still don't know he's there. They don't know that he had put a ward there. So that's a really good scout out, just heads up play by the Chipper, just to try and, get some vision, get some eyes on the map. And now our Kraken boy, Mr. Doze, is going to be able to pick up some stacks here, which is super nice. Glacius is going to triple stack these camps for him so Doze can come back after healing at base, and he'll have a little influx of gold. So Doze is sitting about 1,450 gold. So he's going to be looking to get a PK within the next 2 to 3 minutes, depending on what stacks he has and how efficiently he can farm. That's really good for them. As soon as he gets PK, it's game on. And unfortunately, that Bushwhack's not going to be able to play the game if he's on top of his stuff. However, if the Bushwhack just has awareness, it's a different story. So they actually do see the Bushwhack taking these stacks, but I don't think they have any answers for it. I think they just have to give it up.
Yeah, they do. But you can see Bushwhack kind of struggling to farm the stacks this early because he doesn't have his full toolkit yet, and he will be taking a lot of damage to do it. So he's much less efficient than a Kraken or Soul Reaper would be doing the same.
Yeah, being able to being able to have your Glacius Tundra Blast something and you just, smacking down a nice splash and getting out the damage is super big. And Ravenor actually just picked up Elder Parasite. So we're looking at the 10-minute mark. Ravenor having, a good old Dandelion in his inventory, good old Protective Talisman. He just picked up Elder and he's sitting on Steam Boots. So he's pretty farmed right now. He had a pretty good lane. He's 450 GPM. Doze's up to 450 GPM. Boy, oh boy.
Here. Oh, Chipper finding the snipe.
Oh, no.
That is going to pay off. And instantly porting out again. Expensive mistake for the lead inside.
So they traded a kill for Glacius onto Roro. So Roro gets some gold influx, but I don't think, carry for support's not really necessarily worth it. In my opinion, you get a kill, but I don't think the trade's good. So Doze actually is sitting at 2150. So like I said, that 2-minute range, Doze will be able to get PK, and he farmed efficiently, got the stack. So Doze, he's going to go for Alkbones, actually, instead of going for the instant PK. Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so he's going to be delaying it for a while, but they have efficient farming in the woods. They're stacking well. Ravenor's happy farming up. I think they're in a happy spot right now with what they have. Bushwhack is not really pulling off in the same way that they would like to.
For sure. Okay, Poyo doesn't know that Glacius is coming down. A Tundra Blast coming through with the heal from Poyo Boy. Poyo Boy getting punched. Ice Suppressor to save him down. And Glacius is going to start dancing around, just trying to make sure that everything's good. And Whoop actually survives with a fat 15-ish HP. That heal didn't kill. The auto attack didn't kill. And that is just unfortunate. That's a close trade. And Doze, being the good teammate he is, gives Whoop a regen. And then Accursed said, "No, sir. No healing for you." Hits him with a little blast and ends up killing him. Or not killing him, but stopping his regen, which is unfortunate, but good job, Doze. Chipper actually getting gun on mid lane. Sawblade Showdown going down, but it doesn't necessarily matter. Aurora hitting the Wrath of the Pharaoh to get in, and Aurora actually picks up the kill on Men on the Chipper and actually gets a shutdown. So he has some shutdown gold. He's getting some influx of gold, and he is slowly but surely coming back into the game, which is super good. So now here's the next question: is our Ravenor just going to go second item BKB and just prepare to fight, or do you think he's going to try and buy something else? Is there anything else that you think that Ravenor needs, or do you think it's just BKB PK and just play the map and play the game?
I suspect he might be getting a PK before the Shrunken Head here. I don't think he's going to go straight Shrunken from here necessarily. But it depends. I mean, if Deadwood and Kraken manage to get their PK before Ravenor saves up the gold, yeah, he's going for the Shrunken. So they're going to be relying on Deadwood and Kraken to get the PKs to the initiation, and Ravenor comes in following up.
I mean, honestly, that's 2,250 gold that you're spending on Engage, but if you have an Engage team like they have now, as long as your team can hit their spells, you don't necessarily need the PK. So Pizdude just casually walking up at Fog and popping a magic mushroom to go stealthy boy, so that, Roro didn't see that play, but he's just going to take the Creep Center Tower and back up. Nothing crazy. If you look at the vision on the map right now, the vision's pretty apparent, right? Again, these words are basically to see where Pharaoh's trying to ult from, which is really good. And again, changing your word placement for that, super smart. So Poyo's actually aggressively going forward. He has a gnome, so he's not too scared. Poyo fighting bottom, while mid's also fighting. Whoopty punching out Poyo. Poyo Reaper ult scything down. Glacius trying to just pop it on and kill, but it doesn't matter. Accursed has a shield down. Make Love 83 going down for a double tap for Poyo and Chicken. And then mid lane, Lucius ends up getting the shutdown on Kraken. There's two fights going on at once. That's not bad. That, stabilizing the gold income on our Bushwhack here just by getting that good shutdown. He just picked up a Caulfields. So is Bushwhack going BKB to be safe, it looks like?
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, so Chipper standing. Chipper throwing down glue, getting a goo Bubby burst healing, going through Sawblade Showdown, but the missiles are just enough to kill. He's playing that angle a few times. I don't have a word there, vision there, but he's done that about 3 times now. I think it's time to respect it and put a word there. So
Chipper's been very efficient with the burst, considering he's playing from the supporter role and having no items. He's been able to walk around the map and solo kill people 3 times now.
So also Ravenor is not going BKB. He just bought an Icy Boy. He just bought an Ice Brand. So he's either going Dawn or Frostwolf. Frostwolf probably would be the best bet here, just to try and slow down Bushwhack from being able to just run away. Even though the slow is not anything too terrifyingly crazy, it's better than nothing, right?
I think both are valid options, and I could see arguments for both. I would guess he goes for Frostwolf, but if he goes for Dawn, that can work as well.
True. And the other thing too about Dawn, the other thing about Frostwolf in general, right, is the fact that it can scout things out in the fog. So if you have your Pharaoh hiding in the fog, waiting for an angle, if you have your Cursed or the Demented just waiting to kind of pop out and use spells, just get a little pickup, and will give you the vision that you need, and you'll be able to determine how to team fight. If he goes Dawnbringer, well, you know, Dawnbringer does a lot of damage, so everybody likes damage. Me carry, me click, you know what I mean?
Another thing with Dawnbringer argument is that Ravenor has a lot of mana issues. Like, he's spamming mana pots on himself currently and throughout the outpost. So
Kirk, take a peek at top, buddy. They got some magic fungus going on. They actually just gonna avoid each other.
Yeah. Yeah, but he picked up another +6 strength from the bowstring armband, so I'm not sure where that is meant to be going on Ravenor.
Interesting. So you're gonna sneak a Kongor here because Bushwhack is like the best Kongor taker literally in the game.
Yeah, I mean, having a Bushwhack on the team, killing it at 15 minutes is not particularly early, so that's just one of the things you get in the bag when you pick Bushwhack, and I think Hellborn are satisfied with having one Kongor down at 15 minutes only. Could be much worse.
True, very true. It's acceptable losses, right?
Items here. Like, he didn't even go for the PK here. He went a completely different route and went the Alchemist Bones into a tablet now.
The thing about tablet is, the only reason why I can see tablet is just try and push people out of Pharaoh Wall, right? Because I don't necessarily see anything otherwise for that. Oh, a Flare taking out MMN. He's getting put in by a nice Wrath of the Pharaoh into a wall, and oh no, Mr. Memmen, he has barbed armor. Memmen threw down Saw Blade Show to try to do damage as we get cut up by barbed armor, but Pizdude coming through, throwing a volleyball, getting a big stun on top of the Pharaoh, being able to kill Pharaoh. And they want more, but Grasping Roots are a little off target. The Rotten Grass, a little off target, but that's okay. It's still looking pretty good. Not a bad trade. They killed the Pharaoh for the Chipper. I honestly think...
I think Hellborn are happy coming out of that trade.
I think that trade-off is not that bad. So BKB just came up on Bush. So Bush is looking... All right. Game is opening up. And there's a 34 gold advantage. That's kind of crazy. It's pretty even right now.
As even can be.
So Bush now just acquired BKB, right? So... these team fights and these fights are getting a little bit more scary because BKB is online. They don't know about his BKB, so Lucia's gonna come out, try an auto go through, but he did pop BKB. He was greedy, did pop BKB. Okay, punch coming through with no damage like Telionis, doesn't necessarily matter. They have four people, sorry, rotating bot lane to pick up these kills to push the lane. Glacius is gonna get taken down by Boy Oh Boy just getting a nice little pickup with Soul Reaper here, and he is going Dawnbringer for himself over that Gnomes.
They might push up to try and get the Hellborn Kongor here. They still have the Kongor Slayer buff, which means that they could potentially get a token if they're quick. And with both Deadwood and Glacius down, they won't have time to react from the Hellborn time or any real response to make. So I think they're going to push for token here if they can kill it in time.
Yeah, Pizdude just taking tier 2 tower, Doze's just getting far mid, and Chipper's just trying to play around. But like you said, I do not think they can challenge it. Ravenor just TP back to base, but I think it's a little too late. I think their damage is just too much.
But, they are blocking the rockets. They know this is coming.
Yeah.
And that is a token.
Oh, a nice fog play from Doze coming through, coming with the nice mushroom, magic mushroom, the 50k for Dark Kraken, but it doesn't necessarily matter. Boy, oh boy, is absolutely huge, doing damage, but Pizdude also smacking down with the volleyball, getting the kill. Whoop trying to run away, but they're just trying to slow him down. Luis just dashing forward, one shot, two shot, but okay, Wook walking through the trees, and he dashes through the cut tree, and it pushed him out, and that was just that. So the PK played by the Kraken was really, really good. It was a good PK push on the wall, throwing down, you know, Ria's Kraken, Whirlpool pulling in, but guess what? They just stood their ground. They said, guess what? My Demented standing here, I do not care. I have no fear in the world. And guess what? Demented did his job. Healed Lucius, threw down the spells he needed, threw down Unbreakable, Stormcloud, everything was good to go.
Yeah, I mean, a minute ago, we talked about the game, like, it's as even as it can be, and now, we're up 2 Kongors and Legion side, all of a sudden they have a token, Hellborn comes in for a team fight, and they flop it on the ground, trade everything for Soul Reaper pretty much, and now we're up 4k here, and Bushwhack is going to be looking stronger and stronger.
Sure, and that was, now, don't get it wrong, it was a huge shutdown on Soul Reaper, right? Soul Reaper's having a really great game, but it's not worth it to throw your whole team away just to kill the Soul Reaper, right? Yeah, as much as the Soul Reaper is terrifying, 100% was not worth it.
I mean, look at Soul Reaper as well. Like, he doesn't look like the usual Soul Reaper coming out of this. I was a little bit waiting to see what he was going to buy initially because he had 2.6k saved up, and then he just right clicks and gnomes. So I think he was considering going for like a heavy carry build, and I think that's the way he's going now with the Dawnbringer coming up with Soul Reaper soon.
Very true. That's the other thing too is, unfortunately, Whoop kind of got sacrificed, right? Whoop got sacrificed when they knew he was gonna have a good lane. So Doze's actually hiding off to the right, just trying to make a good play, just trying to, you know, get a magic mushroom play, a nice veiled rot, but to no avail. They couldn't create anything. Now here's the biggest problem. PHG not having BKB kind of scares me, because if they go on top of him, they can lock him down. They don't necessarily have the stuns, but they have the slows and the damage to be able to kill him. So you're running into a situation where, as long as he's on top of his stuff and supports there, he should be okay. But they have the damage to kill him. I will say, Whoopie Boy. Yep, Whoopie Boy has PK in like 50 gold. Okay, me actually getting caught out right now. Roar just throwing down Barb going in. PHG just watch that happen. Realize, okay, we can't go on this. Not a big, not good. And let's see. Whoop bought PK. So Whoop has PK now, right? So he's a little scary. Oh no, PHG actually getting caught by Wrath of the Pharaoh. Coming through another TP, but it doesn't necessarily matter. Volleyball coming through on PHG, instantly purged by BKB. Ro just trying to fight, trying to put down Hellfire while Lucius going through. Glacius make love, trying to ult to slow everything down, but it necessarily didn't matter. Guess what? We hit the timings. Lucius had a great game, and Poyo Boy is actually extremely farmed just from having a free lane, and now you're starting to see it. And that's the big problem, right? Wrath of the Pharaoh comes through. He's starting to get, you know, Hellfire's just taking his little toes, all the mini stuns, no PKB to save him. Literally, Lucius gets stunned. Our Curse throws down a heal, throws down a shield, and he gets, you know, heal bomb through the creep wave. All of a sudden, PHG's HP's gone, and Lucius is healthy.
Yeah, I mean, Hellbone is falling apart here. All the gold they've spent, they got 2 tablets, they have 2 PKs, they have all this initiation set up, but they don't really get to use it, and they just get jumped upon by the Legion side.
Yeah, so
Pharaoh has really been high value. He has gotten so much from his point of view compared to the Deadwood on the opposite side. They played the same lane, they had similar opening games with a few devs and some decent XP, and Pharaoh's just had such a good utility game compared to Deadwood.
Again, like we were saying, Pharaoh's one of those heroes that doesn't really necessarily need items to play the game. Where Deadwood is kind of locked behind needing items to play the game to be useful, Pharaoh just has to hit 6. He is a hero that is basically 100% based off utility. All of his builds are super good, the items he builds are super good, and you're starting to see it, right? Where, you know, Whoop had 88 GPM, was zoned off the tower, not being able to play the game, and, you know, Pharaoh got dove 3 times, right? So they both have bad lanes, but here's the difference. The difference is that Pharaoh has global pressure, like you're talking about. He plays from angles and, you know, in fog where we can't really see, and he just has some really good ults, getting some really good catches, and Flare 20% slow, literally being able to just chase people down and kill them is, as the kids say, absolutely mahusive, if you will.
We have a team smoke from the Hellbone team coming out now over by their Conqueror. I think they're going to make a Hail Mary for it and push in, see if they can find something.
But the hard part is, who do you kill? Right? You have a full Dawnbringer Soul Reaper with a breastplate, and they're going to catch up on Soul Reaper right now. And Poyo Boy getting caught on. Doze tackling, stunning him on the wall, throwing down the Q, putting down a Whirlpool. Guess what? Here comes Missiles on the back line. PHG actually just got caught up by Royal. Royal going with a nice Wrath of Pharaoh, throwing down a cage. PHG's stuck. PHG literally cannot get out. Luis is just going to swing and go. Guess what? Doze has to dash out, and Glacius is ulting for fog, getting some damage on Roro. It's very good. Whoopsie throwing a tree, trying to slide, get anything he can. Ridden Grass can't do. Bubbly just healing. Roar getting healed. Zora has no, oh no, buddy. A Flare coming through, killing him. Mimi tried to use himself out and get away, but it doesn't matter. He's just going to get shot down. That team fight, oh, they call GG. Yep. And that's just, that's one of those things, man. It's like we were saying, the timer for Bushwhack and their team is a little bit different. And even though they started that fight and they jumped on Poyo Boy and they killed Poyo Boy, again, who are you going to kill? You kill Poyo Boy, you kill the Soul Reaper, it doesn't matter. He does damage and heals, and he's just tanky and a nuisance.